All right, Jess, you had asked me that you wanted to do the intro for this one. You said you had a great idea for it, so go ahead and take it away.
I don't have a great idea for it.
Wow, you made yourself look really bad in front of all these people.
What?
Maybe this is the pre-show.
Yeah.
We should announce something during the pre-show. If you remember the Game Awards 2 years ago, they actually did a Whooper Watch. Do you remember this for the pre-show? We've talked about it a lot. Sydney Goodman was still the host back then, and I think it was when Pokemon Go was had a resurgence during COVID. And so they were like thousands of Whooper would spill onto the screen every 5 minutes, and she'd be like, "Oh my God, it's a Whooper Watch! Check your phones right now. There's the Whoopers all around you." And we did, and there were. Who's our musical guest?
Well, I did ask Ed Sheeran if he could pop by, but
okay.
he said no.
He said
busy.
no? Well, the fact that he even responded, I'm gonna take as a win. So
it was like, "Sorry, Jess, I'd love to do your awards show," and I was like, "No, it's fine. I think people would prefer if you weren't here."
All right. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us so much. It is the end of 2023. We are bringing the year to a close, and of course, as we do, we always want to give critical acclaim, because we're critics, to video games that really stood out to us this year for a variety of different reasons, which is why we put on the Lusties, which is, don't think about the name too much. We took a vote earlier this year and decided to lean into it, so the name stays.
I wasn't present for the voting.
You were definitely there for the vote. We definitely talked about it.
I think I missed that. I think I would have voted against keeping the name.
I'm Jeff Keighley. Jess, who are you gonna be?
I am the woman of the show.
Yeah, Sydney. Whose name you didn't even know.
I am woman.
Yeah.
I'm Jess. I'm reviews editor of GameLuster.
All right. You're right. What you said was technically correct. I'm Nirav. I'm the audio video editor for GameLuster.com, and yeah, so I'm really excited to bring you some of these cool hot takes.
So our first award is Best Narrative. So nominated for this award, in case you missed our nominations video, is Alan Wake 2, A Space for the Unbound, Baldur's Gate 3, El Paso Elsewhere, Spider-Man 2, and The Fabulous Fear Machine.
I was trying to act out all of the things you were saying.
I
was really running out of ideas. Spider-Man was the only one I felt good about.
The winner of the Best Narration Award is...
Nope, not Best Narration. That's a different award.
Best Narrative Award is... Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey, how about that? I don't mind commenting on some of the stats on some of these. So this was our biggest win by far. This was I think 80% of the votes went towards Baldur's Gate winning Best Narrative, including myself. Even as somebody who's not thinking of Baldur's Gate as Game of the Year material, the narrative is the thing that is extremely impressive to me, and I was yeah, that's the one, man. Yeah,
it's been one of the few games in recent years where I've actually enjoyed it being about 200 hours long.
Oh, that's totally fair. Yeah,
I definitely fell into that streak of not really enjoying longer games as much after picking up full-time work, but Baldur's Gate 3 has been the one that I felt really needed those 200 hours.
Okay, so our next award is for hottest character. That's pretty self-explanatory, but it's a character this year in a game that got us all riled up, acting a fool out on the internet in front of other people. We had Jill Warwick from Final Fantasy XVI, Jury from Street Fighter VI, Karlach from Baldur's Gate 3, Dave the Diver, Professor Garlic, Hogwarts Legacy, Pyrrha from The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Solomon Reed from Cyberpunk 2077, aka just Idris Elba photocopied into a video game, which was not a fair fight, but regardless, Karlach actually came out on top. Congratulations to Karlach. I think this is a combination of one, her actually being hot, and two, the whole fire thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of too low-hanging fruit for the joke. I think people had to do it.
She's literally too hot to handle. So next up, we've got the Excellence in Robotics. This is a new award for this year again. It's basically, we had so many robot characters in games this year that we wanted to give this its own award. So running up for this award, we had BD-1 from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, CNMN from Hi-Fi Rush.
It's just
Cinnamon from Hi-Fi Rush. Mineru from The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The Core from SteamWorld Build, and Vasco from Starfield. And the winner of this award is none other than BD1. Yeah, I love Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
I preferred the first game, so yeah, I think BD1. I'm not a massive fan of the cutesy robot characters in Star Wars, but I would say BD1's been my favorite out of all of them.
Nice. I am. Oh, you know what? Now I know what I should be wearing. Hold on. Keep the people entertained.
Hi, people. Well, Nirav.
I forgot I can edit this. You don't have to keep me entertained.
Okay. I thought you were gonna come in and like get an R2D2 like costume or something.
Just like a full costume. Yeah.
Just Stew in a costume.
I did wear. Now I've actually had this for a long time because I did wear this. I remember to the Force Awakens midnight premiere back when the movie came out. So
it's massive. Whose head is that made for?
It just stretches out. It's because it's on top of my headphones. So for our biggest disappointment award, we have a game that we had high hopes for this year that let us down one way or another, and the winner of this award is forever banished to the Lustless Isles. It's a place you don't want to go.
Yeah, so theoretically this award was supposed to go towards games that we were expecting to be good and turned out to be bad, but apparently Werty was expecting Gollum to be good, so...
I don't know what to do. Gollum got a lot of votes. I'm not going to disclose how many it was, but it was a lot, and it was the second most amount. But thankfully, the Callisto Protocol, a game that actually people were excited for and then ended up being disappointing, did win. So congratulations. Yeah. Well, not congratulations. This is our one award that you don't want to win, I guess. So
it's because the most surprising thing about it was, bear in mind, I reviewed this and Dead Space, so. This was made by the original creator of Dead Space, whereas the Dead Space remake was being made by EA. So you can pretty much guess which game we were expected to be bad and which ones we were expected to be good based on like previous track records, like up until now. So the fact that it turned out to be like completely switched was like so surprising. So, Best New IP, this is another new award, so basically we wanted to reward... there's been so many remakes and sequels this year that we wanted to reward a game that was, like, completely fresh on the market. So, nominated for this award was Chance of Senna, Corn Kid 64, Dave the Diver, Liza P, and Starfield. And the winner of this award was Chance of Senna.
Yay. You reviewed Chance of Senna?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was a really engaging world. I've only played through some of it. I've not finished it yet, but it was a really engaging, cool world to walk around. I want to address the boy-shaped elephant in the room. Is Lies of P actually a new IP because it's like technically Pinocchio? My defense is that if I showed you a video of Lies of P, there's no way on earth you would say, "Hey, that's Pinocchio."
No, I thought that when it was announced, and they kept on referring to Pinocchio, and I was thinking, well, this looks nothing like Pinocchio.
All right, so Best Expansion is our next category. This one we haven't done before, but this year we actually did have like enough expansions and DLCs that came out that were worth like rewarding.
Yeah.
And so this is for a DLC or expansion that released this year that builds on what made the original game great, while providing something innovative to mark a new and memorable experience. Our nominations were Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, Horizon Burning Shores, Phasmophobia Ascension, Rainworld Downpour, The Case of the Golden Idol, The Spider of Lanka, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. And I think probably you can guess who won. It was Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Unsurprising to me, I have not played any of Phantom Liberty, but I have played a good 8 or 9 hours of the base Cyberpunk game since the reboot. And
I've got up to about where I was when I quit on PS4 several years ago.
I remember this. You actually a little fascinating little time capsule. Go back and check out that review, the 3-person review we published.
Yeah.
Thinking that the 3 life paths would like be different in any way.
And surprisingly, we were all playing it on PlayStation 4 as well, so...
Yeah, that was bad. And then at the same time, I was reviewing it on PC, so you can check out our PC review, which is a lot more positive than the PlayStation one. Alright, well, we're on to the next one, Best with Buddies. Jess with Buddies.
This is a game that, it may have been good single playing in single player, but like it's heightened through playing with your friends. So running for this award was Baldur's Gate 3, Sons of the Forest, Where's My Kelvin, Storyteller, Street Fighter 6, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the winner was Baldur's Gate 3.
That is also unsurprising to me.
Yeah.
I actually haven't played Baldur's Gate multiplayer yet. I will hopefully do that eventually.
I think I started playing it, and yeah, it's pretty good. I think it needs like more than one other person, though. I think it needs like a group of people. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I do recommend playing it both ways, though. Single player, you get more time to look at stuff that you want to look at than multiplayer with your mates.
Like Astarion's tight butt.
Well, it's like Sons of the Forest. Like we must have played about 20 hours of it.
Yeah, probably nearly that.
We didn't progress in the story.
No, we did build a fort that Kelvin tore apart and threw into the lake. Okay. All right, the next one is the Barbenheimer Award. This is a topical limited time only one. We'll not have it next year. This is awarded to the best pair of thematically disparate games that released on the same day this year. Our nominees were Assassin's Creed Mirage and Detective Pikachu Returns, Atomic Heart with Like a Dragon Ishin, Bayonetta Origins with WWE 2K23, Forspoken and Hi-Fi Rush, and Spider-Man 2 with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. The winner of this, also by a long shot, was, I think as predicted, Spider-Man and Mario. That's kind of a hard team up to beat. It's kind of two big properties, and again, in the spirit of Barbenheimer, people were excited for both of these games, and they both turned out to be great.
Next up, we've got Indie Game of the Year. So this, in this category, we're rewarding indie games, basically. So running for this award was 9 Years of Shadows, A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Senna, Corn Kids 64, Dredge, and El Paso Elsewhere. And the winner was Dredge.
Yay! Now Jess, I think you haven't gotten to Dredge yet, right?
No, but it is on my list. I'm picking one game to play over Christmas, and that's looking likely.
Nice. Yeah, I played it at your house, so I think you know how much I was enjoying it. I got really into Dredge. It was fantastic. It definitely my top indie game of the year. So this one was also very close as well. We had
this is a huge category, trimmed down as well.
No, this one was actually close between like a lot of different games. So the next one we have is our returning, I think 4th year in a row maybe, a best villain category. Sorry, spoilers.
Sorry, I've just scrolled down and seen the image.
I've seen the image. Yeah, scroll in on that button I put on it. So this is for the most formidable, detestable, memorable, and perhaps love-to-hate-him villain in gaming this year. The winner will represent evil and chaos in a fresh new way to be remembered for years to come.
We're gonna get sued.
No one's gonna see this. Okay, so our nominees are Bobby Kotick returning for the 4th year in a row, I think, to the nominees from Activision Blizzard. Cazador from Baldur's Gate 3. J.K. Rowling of Hogwarts Legacy fame, rehydrated Ganondorf, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the guy who stole those copies of Starfield from the USPS warehouse and went to jail, and then John Riccitello from Unity, and of course, Unity is our winner. Thanks, John.
This is always a fun category.
I'm waiting for, I think next year we might just flat out say it's just the gaming industry. Like, I don't think any video game characters are gonna win this.
I think it's funnier when we have it against like genuine
like Ganondorf versus this old white man. Oop, Ellie's here. She wants to give out an award. And appropriately, it is the Cozy Game of the Year. Jess, tell us about the Cozy Game of the Year.
So we introduced this award this year just because cozy gaming's like really blown up in the past, so I'd say past 2 years. I think COVID's kick-started it with Animal Crossing.
I was remembering last time when you didn't remember what Animal Crossing was.
Yeah, no, it's one of those like moments where you know what you're talking about, but like the thing with that raccoon who extorts you. But yeah, this because this genre is like really blown up, we wanted to like give it some special interest. So running up for cozy game of the year was Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, Escape from Mistwood Mansion, My Little Universe, Pacorette Down the Bum Burrows, and Smooshy Come Home. And the winner was Smooshy Come Home.
Yay! Come home, Smooshy, Smooshy, come home. That is an old song. If you leave a like if you remember that song from the 50s. Yeah, like it's kind of fun to see, like, you know, in the Discord, like some people will like spend the year like campaigning for some game very slowly, trying to like inception everybody into thinking it's good. Obviously, like, the games are good too, but it's just like, you know, especially with these really tiny games, like, we just don't have a chance to get to all of them. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been really gutting for House Flipper 2 this year, but no one's really picked up on that.
I think that House Flipper 2, like, if it's bad, that would be your Redfall. All right, so our next award is for Excellence in Diversity. This award is for stepping above the status quo in representing racial, gender, or sexual minorities in gaming as real, three-dimensional characters. Our nominees, sorry, my cat's tail is in front of the nominees. Our nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, In Stars and Time, Jagged Alliance 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Venba. And our winner is Venba. I can do that. You can't do that, but... Yeah, so congrats to Venba. This game is one that I just bought in a Humble Bundle. I feel bad because I haven't had time to get to it the entire year, but yeah, it's definitely something that I want to experience, just being an Indian American myself, and I think is probably gonna hit me. You know what? I honestly feel like I've kind of been putting it off because I know it is gonna make me like feel some like real ass feelings, and I'm like not prepared, you know. So. But yeah, Shaz, who reviewed this game for our site, wrote a really touching review of this, and, you know, also of South Asian descent. Like, this means a lot representation wise. So Venba has been really, I feel like Venba is one of those games that's been like people have kind of known about and been talking about for 2 years, and I feel like it could have very easily like disappointed people, but it was a big success, so I'm really glad.
So this is another new award. We had so many characters who were like had very tragic backstories, all needed fixing emotionally and literally, that we wanted to make this a category. So running for this award we had Astarion for Baldur's Gate 3, Ganondorf, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Goro Majima, Like a Dragon Gaiden.
You didn't say any of those words right, but we'll move on.
Mr. Koo from The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo. And the Princess from Slay the Princess. And the winner was Astarion.
Yeah, this one was actually a bit of a fight, more than I was predicting. The princess got real close to taking the crown there, but
I mean, I'd argue like no one had a shittier time than Astarion, but like I did vote for Mr. Koo because I thought it was pretty funny that we were putting him back together again.
Yeah, I think Astarion actually is the character that inspired this category earlier this year when we were talking about it, so it is fitting that he wins. So next up we have Best Soundtrack. This is for excellence in using score and soundtrack to capture and define moments and vibes. And that's what I like to focus in on, like, more is like how, both the soundtrack and like how it impacted your playing of the game. Because it is two different things, definitely. Like, there's definitely been a lot of soundtracks that I enjoyed for games that I like couldn't get into. Oh wait, Justin, you read a whole article about that?
Yeah, some people would argue with me saying that you can't enjoy music.
That's what I've heard. That's what people have been saying out on the street. You know what Eminem said one time? He said, "You got enemies? Good. That means you stood up for something." And speaking of Eminem, here are our nominees for Best Soundtrack: Baldur's Gate 3, El Paso Elsewhere, Final Fantasy 16, Sprawl, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. And the winner is, of course, Final Fantasy 16. Again, unsurprising. I would say, I think I was talking about this the other day. Trying to go against Final Fantasy in any music category is like, and then I stopped the sentence because there isn't anything that hard to do.
So this is a new category again for this year. So this is the best game world is a world that's like really fully realized. It's beautiful, and it's like in itself like a character just as much as like the characters within the game. So running for this award was Earth, Pikmin 4, Grand Chien, Jagged Alliance 3, Hyrule, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Celestia, Octopath Traveler 2, The Forgotten Realms, Baldur's Gate 3, and The Many Pieces of Mr. Ku, which of course contain the many pieces of Mr. Ku.
Yeah, I'd spent a long time trying to find out if that world has a name. It does not. It is just the many pieces of Mr. Ku world. Yeah, this one. Go ahead and hit us.
The winner is Earth from Pikmin 4.
and also from real life. I mean, I think in the marketing they used the like suburban home a lot as like, you know, like look at the showcase here, which is a fantastic one. But there's also like somebody's backyard and like a regular garden, and like a lot of these really like seemingly trivial things that you wouldn't really look at twice in real life. Like, you know, you walk by a garden hose on the ground, but like, oh, that's a boss arena. You know what I mean? And so I think they did like a fantastic job translating things that you wouldn't really think about in the real world and little areas and little patches of life into giant expansive areas that are not only like look great, but are well designed and also really engaging. I'm fully aware that I'm the only person who played Pikmin 4 and this one won out of sheer comedy. But I don't care because it does very much deserve it. I strongly believe that. Our next one was Best Lead Performance. This is the best performance for a lead role, whether that's going to be voice or full body motion capture. Our nominees are Ben Starr as Clive Rossfield in Final Fantasy XVI, Najee Jeter as Miles Morales in Spider-Man 2, Neil Newbon as Astarion in Baldur's Gate 3, Roger Clark as Jack Leary in Fort Solis, and Xavier Nelson Jr. as James Savage in El Paso Elsewhere. And our nominees, I'm so sorry. I love you all, especially you, Roger, who is my best friend now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the winner is Neil Newbon as Astarion. So, slightly unsurprising, but this one was not even close. I actually, and I'm not saying that Neil Newbon didn't do a fantastic job, because he did, but I think next year it might behoove us to have like a best actor and also a best character category.
Yeah.
So we can, we'll talk about it though. But yeah, he did a great job as far as I've heard so far. Again, I've played like 20 hours of this game, but maybe you can speak a little more to my friend Neil.
You can then like see the difference between Astarion in Act 3 and Astarion in Act 1. And then of course you've got like the different emotions that he portrays. Like he's brilliant at doing like sassy comedy, and really like the outer pocket lines as well. There's like some of the delivery had me like absolutely cackling, but then he was also excellent at the more touching moments as well. So I think like it was just an all-round like brilliant performance, really.
So this is the best performance, of course, for supporting actor in a video game this year. Our nominees were Amelia Tyler as the Dungeon Master in Baldur's Gate 3, Elias Tufexis as Sam Coe in Starfield, Joseph Balderrama as Arlecchino in Lies of P, Julia Brown as Jessica Appleton in Fort Solis, and Matt Mercer as Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom. And our winner is Amelia Tyler. This one was a narrow win, I will say. Won by a single vote, but she got there. But I want to give a shout out because I actually really... She might be my favorite performance in this game, honestly, like as far as I've gone in. Especially myself having been like a dungeon master, I guess in real life for many years. Like there you have to be able to like change gears at an instant between like being like whimsical and ethereal, describing what's happening, and then like, no, shut up. No, like, no, let's not do that. Let's go this way instead. And like, she really, like, I have a very strong suspicion that she has DM'd an actual games before because she definitely has a knack for it. She's got the flow and the tone down.
when I went to EGX, and I attended the Baldur's Gate 3 cast panel, and Amelia actually, she, one of the questions was whether they've played Dungeons and Dragons before, and Amelia has. I don't know if she's been a dungeon master before, but she is like an avid Dungeons and Dragons fan, so she has like been in games before.
All right, so our next one is best boss fight. This is for the most memorable battle of the year. The winner will have multiple key elements such as an excellent villain, great fight design, and epic moments you can't get off your mind. So, our nominees were Dagon Gera from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the Demon Dragon from Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Mimosa from Hi-Fi Rush, the Nameless Puppet from Lies of P, and Raphael from Baldur's Gate 3. And our winner was predictably Raphael from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I don't know this man, Jess, so maybe you could speak to this a little.
And the thing about Raphael is that he's very dramatic. He's essentially like a performer, which I think is like brilliant for like a character that's supposed to represent the devil. Like he's really into his deals, he's really into his poetry. If you when you approach him in a certain act, you can actually hear him. Like if you stand back a bit, you can hear him like reciting his lines for like a later act. And what made this boss fight so special is he's singing his own boss theme. And I think that it's that, and also his health points are 666. And overall, it's also a tough boss as well. So I think just like as a whole package, it was just like really exciting and unexpected.
The fight with Ganondorf at the end is a 3-stage fight, and it is so epic how they do it. I wanted to give it a shout out as well, because it's the first stage of it is just you and Ganondorf, and the two of you just have a sword, and you just have to fucking fight him hand to hand, like man to man, and it is amazingly difficult and really good. And then like, you know, the hordes come in on the second phase, and your teammates come in from the Spirit Guardians, etc. But the third bit is in the sky over Hyrule, and so like you battling the Demon Dragon at the end of the game is just like, it's like a culmination of all of Zelda, because you're like flying through all these landmarks, and you're actually like riding a dragon, doing battle with Ganondorf as a dragon.
As you do on a normal Tuesday afternoon. We have excellence in art design. Is this a new category?
This is a new one, yes.
This is a new one. So this year we had so many pretty games that we wanted to talk about the prettiness of these games. Running up for this award was Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Hogwarts Legacy, Layers of Fear, and Rainworld Downpour. And the winner was Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, this Remedy is kind of like, they sort of are the art design people.
Yeah, I think Alan Wake 2 might actually be my Christmas game.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested in this, despite like, yeah. I didn't finish all of Alan Wake 1, but like,
I hated Alan Wake 1.
I've heard you don't need to even play it to get the second one though, so yeah, whatever.
But I'd also like to give like a special shout out to Layers of Fear, because Layers of Fear, it's not only like really interesting to play just because the art design is so wacky. So it uses this concept a lot where you'll be walking down a corridor and then you'll turn around and it's like completely changed behind you.
Our next award, also pretty topical, is Best Kenergy. All you want to do is tell this person they are Knuff. I mean, I think now you know if somebody has good Kenergy when you see them.
Yeah.
Like, so our nominations were Asterion, not Asterion, from Stray Gods, a role-playing musical. Also voiced by Raul Coley, by the way, our good friend. Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. Ken from Street Fighter, easy nomination. Peppino Spaghetti from Pizza Tower. And Sidon from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And our winners, we actually had a tie for this one. Rather than going through a boring old tiebreaker, we thought it'd be fun if they just could hang out together. So,
yeah.
Gale and Sidon, congratulations for winning our Best Kenergy Award.
Next up, we've got Best Living Game, and this is Cyberpunk 2077.
All right, well, thanks for spoiling it.
Oh, shit.
Whatever. Everyone, whatever. This was not a contest in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter. Everyone knows.
No, it wasn't, to be honest. You can cut that out if you want to.
No, it's funnier if you leave it in.
Best with the nominated
for
this
was
Cyberpunk 2077, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, No Man's Sky, and Phasmophobia. And of course, Cyberpunk won this award. Basically, this is awarded to games that like continuously updated and improved upon. And I think Cyberpunk was pretty much like a no-brainer for this year, just because like the drastic improvement from release.
I think it's good that we have this just to like get like a more diversity of like good games, because like the thing is that, so this is our best of the rest category. All of these games were in our like running to get nominations and got a lot of points from different things, but just didn't quite make it in there. And so like these are all things that we did actually like. It's not like a conciliatory thing or whatever.
I think the things with like awards categories is if the whole team haven't played each game, it's very difficult to judge, especially when it's like judged based on voting, like our awards are. So there's always going to be a game where not everybody had the time to play it.
Yeah, this is just more in favor of my idea of having a benevolent dictator choose the winners. Our nominees are Armored Core 6, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Cassette Beasts, Homebody, and Sea of Stars. And our winner was Sea of Stars. Congrats, guys. I have only played the demo of Sea of Stars, but I enjoyed it immensely. I would love to continue one day. And yeah, shout out to all these, and special shout out to Cassette Beast. That was definitely one of my favorite indies this year.
Yeah, I was also interested in Cassette Beast as well.
Pokemon 2, finally somebody who's brave enough. Alright, hit us with most anticipated.
So this is the game that we're most looking forward to coming out next year. Is it next year or is it just in the future?
Ours was supposed to be slated for release in 2024.
This is very skeptical, but we'll go ahead. So running for this award was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Persona 3 Reload, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Little Nightmares 3, and The Wolf Among Us 2. And the winner was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Also not close, even a little. Not even a little bit. This is definitely, I think, so far over the gaming industry, also the most hyped game right now that's coming. But I also will say that, like, I don't feel like there's like a huge amount of 2024 games that people are really hyped for right now. So
no, I think I'm hyped for Little Nightmares 3, and that's valid. But that's mainly because I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm way more excited for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Oh, we're at the end of the list here. Wow, we got the big one. So, I think you can probably, if you've made it this far, guess where this is going. If you've been counting up your numbers here. But Game of the Year, to celebrate a game this year that showed the best gaming has to offer with innovative gameplay, fantastic story, mastery of the genre, or all of the above. And our nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Pikmin 4, Spider-Man 2, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And our winner is...
Do you want me to say it?
That's why I was pointing at you.
Oh, it's Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, so I think first of all, congrats to Larian Studios for putting out this game. And until basically this game, like, Larian's been kind of a little indie underdog studio. They certainly aren't anymore, because now they're rich and have a billion people working there. But it is nice to see this kind of I think also this genre get some love. Like, CRPGs have traditionally not been popular with general audiences, and I mean, I'll admit there's very few of them like that are in recent years. Like Pillars of Eternity is like didn't really catch on, you know, like it is what it is. But yeah, I think like this studio managed to not only bring CRPGs, a genre that I think people don't know exists, to the mass audiences and in an approachable way, but also like managed to keep a lot of what makes like real Dungeons and Dragons great when translating it into a video game format. And again, as like Mr. D&D, like, I am consistently surprised with how much of it translates. And it's not all of it, certainly, but like it is way more than I would have ever been able to expect.
Yeah, and this was honestly, I can't remember the last time I was like so in love with a game. Like I can't remember the last time I was looking forward to like finishing work so I could hop on Baldur's Gate 3, or like was going on Baldur's Gate 3 at, like during my lunch breaks and stuff. Like I honestly can't, or staying up and like to the early hours like playing a game. I honestly can't remember the last time like I couldn't get a game out of my head like this. I think it might have been Skyrim.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
This is so weird because this is the kind of game that I would not expect to hear about elsewhere, but like, man, I've been out at the bar and like my friends will start talking about Baldur's Gate 3. It's so weird how many people this has gotten to now. Like,
it's like such a strange game to one game of the year, not just because of like the genre and everything, but just because I kind of feel like, I know it was in early access for 2 years, but I kind of feel like this came out of nowhere. Like, it was in early access for 2 years. I know there was a couple of people on the GameLuster team who had been playing it in early access, and they were enjoying it, but they weren't like massively raving about it. And I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, it just came out the woodwork, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, earlier this year, if you had asked me like what the contenders for Game of the Year would have been, there's no way on earth I would have named Baldur's Gate 3 at the beginning of the year. So
I bet the people at Bethesda, they were just like, yeah, our game Starfield's coming out in September. Nothing else is coming out like around
we'll be
the
okay.
time. Yeah, we'll be fine.
No other RPGs that people will judge and criticize us against.
Yeah.
So anyway, congrats to Baldur's Gate, who has won 10 of our 24 awards.
Yeah. And it's like, it's well deserved as well.
Otherwise known as Baldur's Sweep 3. I'm happy for Baldur's Gate 3. I am less excited about the discourse that has taken over the world where people are like, why isn't every game like this? Not realizing that this game was made by fucking 400 people with $100 million from Hasbro, one of the largest companies in the world. Like,
and was in
early access. Exactly, yes. Huge deal that it was in early access for 2 years before final release. Like, it was completely polished way beyond like actually what we consider to be finished for AAA games these days, like when it actually launched. So it's kind of a lightning in the bottle situation, but anyway, but I am happy for them. I would like to get to I need to continue this game. I will finish it. There's just like a lot to do and it gets daunting sometimes. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. This was fun, and so always make sure you can check us out at GameLuster.com. We also have a podcast, GameBusters. We're on the podcast feeds on all of them. Go find us. We're in there. Give us a look-see at our website. We got some good-ass writers here, so I don't say that lightly.
Next year's the year for GameBusters as well. No, what are we? Are we GameBusters?
I mean, that is the podcast name.
Yeah,
it's bothersome that you don't know that, but yeah, we'll continue.
The podcast where we watch TV shows.
Whatever, dude. This is season 3 of GameBusters, though, so that's how I'm differentiating
next year's our year. Like, we've got like 2 shows to watch.
I'm really excited for I think we'll probably have some more popping up soon too. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.